crystals to the temple. The Zerg will surely send all their legions to destroy you. You must be prepared to protect the temple itself from the swarm.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the 8th and final level of the Protoss campaign in Starcraft Brood War Remastered Edition. And this is a pretty short level actually to play. It doesn't take that long to beat this level. It might seem very intimidating, especially if you see all of the things that are located on this map. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward on what needs to be done. And I'm gonna show you exactly on how to handle these things. So, this area here in the middle is the Xel'Naga temple. We need to bring the both Zeratul, Artanis and Zeratul to the beacon over there, and then survive for long enough until they have like placed the crystals and, you know, basically done their job. So the temple needs to stay in shape up until then. The only way to go about that is to build a ton of units, primarily carriers, and a ton of defenses as well. Lots and lots and lots of photon cannons, and then hold out until the mission is completed. Now that might seem like a difficult task, but it's actually not. And fortunately there are 2 bases that we can secure at the temple as well, with minimal defenses that we need to worry about. So before we are actually gonna go about doing all of these things, there is a little Zerg base over here that we will take out first. Just need to get some of our things up and running. Up until then, make like a couple of buildings, like gateways, get a good amount of units. No, the basic stuff. Yeah, just micromanage our way out of this one. Okay, yeah, expect a little bit of an attack, nothing serious. Keep on making those probes. Keep on working on those upgrades. No, again, basic stuff. Defenses over here are, of course, also important. And we are primarily just going to make Dragoons for the time being. We'll start making carriers as soon as we've claimed these 2 bases. And we'll just build our carriers right there, and then at this stage building carriers is not a good idea. We don't really have the economy in order to support them, especially gas wise. It's gonna take forever in order to get the results that we want. So yeah, we'll start building carriers on at a different stage. For the time being, our upgrades are coming up steadily. Shield upgrade is about to finish, which will make our photon cannons that tad bit stronger. Do not forget to make photon cannons in your base, because while our units are out, we might experience some random attacks as well, and we kind of want to make sure that things stay intact while we are away. We don't have to worry about these units just yet, but still just build enough defenses in order to make sure that your probes will stay alive. Okay, a little bit of a block unit over here, and let's see if we can go and take care of that base. Okay. Artanis on our side. Most of these things will die quickly and effectively. See about baiting them to come out and play with us. There are not that many airbase defenses to worry about. Pull out again. I forgot to hard do the cybernetics core. Yeah, we should actually, just in order to get access to the upgrades, we should make at least 1 Stargate, so that we can at least get our air-based upgrades going while we are, you know, waiting to get enough resources for the rest. So yeah, Ooh, man. Hefty attack that's coming up. Nothing really to worry about, but nonetheless, rather be safe than sorry. That one's funneled up. Oh man, this poor guy. Alright, Dragoon, you're not gonna make it. Sorry, buddy. Dragoon is such a deadly unit. Especially with their long range that they've got. Okay, next up will be a fleet beacon. And with the fleet beacon, we'll have access to all of the air upgrades that we need. Oh yeah, and of course we will need a templar. No, wait a minute. Don't we have it? No, we don't. Okay. If we really want to, we can maybe make one carrier at a time just to have a bit of a head start, I suppose. But for the most part, we'll make our carriers later on. Yeah, this base is about to fall. Perfect. Now we have that extra bit of damage too. Ah, lucky, lucky, lucky. There we go. Okay, this base should be over and done with now. Okay, so the reason why I'm not sending these units here on the top side to come and help is because there are some defensive Zerg structures that we have to worry about. So, yep, that's my main reason why. We will be destroying that very soon. In the meantime, start making a bunch of tropes that we are going to use to quickly saturate this area so that we don't have to wait for something like that. Oh man, yeah, bad spot for Artanis to be for sure. Really bad spot. Yeah, Artanis and Zeratul really needs to stay out of harm's way. Over here, make a bunch more photon cannons. We might still encounter some attacks from the brown and the orange Zerg. Yeah, don't want to be caught off guard. Red has got a base over here that we can take out afterwards if we want to have less attacks from red. For the most part, red is not really much of a threat. It is orange and brown that we need to worry about. Brown dominates the northern part, and orange dominates the far right side. So yeah, just fortunately though, they cannot just come in with their units other than using flyer units, which is primarily what they will be attacking with up until we start getting that beacon up and running, or that temple up and running. Okay. Okay, so make sure that we protect these probes over here. You can see they are still trying to, you know, stop us from setting up our things over here. Nice. With the amount of probes that we've made, it should cover this base very, very quickly. We're gonna keep our units around here up until we have placed enough photon cannons. As you can see, we're not exactly lacking minerals. So, yeah. And everyone else that is hanging about here, just put them to work immediately. We pretty much have enough to keep this base well defended. Now, of course, go and deal with these because our probes are taking the wrong way. Hopefully they don't run into anything, right? I don't actually think they would take that long way around just to get to defenses. I'm surprised. On the positive side, though, we have connected our two bases. Make another carrier. How are everything? Okay, everything is coming up very, very nicely. So, which means we can connect Artanis and Zeratul with one another. Okay. Okay, we are definitely gonna want to go and deal with that base in a while. It's just going to keep us from having to deal with any problems related to this base over here. We're gonna be attending to that though while we are busy building our carriers. So yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not the most important thing in the world to do, but it's nonetheless something that we are gonna want to do. Other than that, start making our next batch of probes that we are gonna use to saturate the next base on the top side. Gas is the most important for us, though. So the sooner we can get that up and running, the better for us. Okay, another carrier coming in. Right. Oh. So as you can see, the defenses over here are really nothing to worry about. Only a few things here and there, nothing special. And believe it or not, that's actually it. There's nothing else. So, what's gonna happen next? Send in all of the probes that we have created and go about making that base on the top side. Whoopsie daisy, there happens to be a little friend lurking in the shadows. Claim the gas. Most important commodity for us. And start building pylons around the temple on all four corners. Well, at least 3 corners. Yeah, of course. The queens are gonna try and strike down some of our units. Blah, blah, blah. Not really much of a big deal for us. And cover this temple from head to toes. Make sure that all of the cracks are filled. Make a shield battery for something like that. And go about making our stargates immediately. I actually forgot about the upgrades on this side, to be honest. Not send Artanis and Zeratul over there just yet. I would rather want to wait for the minerals on the side. Just generally a much better idea. Just for in case we do run out of minerals. Doubt that we will, and doubt that we will suffer too heavy casualties. But patience is a virtue, definitely. Tons and tons and tons of photon cannons are needed. So just keep on making those. Yeah, I even covered this area over here. It's not going to be such a big deal getting to all of the minerals. Like before, we want to have about 4 stargates. Can build some photon cannons here as well. Oh, look at that, huh? Naughty, naughty, naughty. Jeez, it takes creep forever to disappear. Nonetheless, it's still gonna be a good idea to patiently wait for it to finish up. On the fortunate side, however, we have 4 carriers, so it's better than nothing, and it means that we're gonna be dealing with the red base pretty quickly. Yeah, they are definitely terrorizing us with regards to losing dragoons because of those silly queens. Perfect. Now that that is out of the way, we can now go about taking care of the rest. Don't worry too much about defending these areas over here. Not that important. Immediately make our carriers and get some scouts on the side. If we can get an arbiter as well, that would be really awesome. Ah, okay. So the mineral line over here is run out. Perfect timing. Try not to fly. Try not to fly some of your units over. Oh yeah, and be careful that you don't end up having your carriers fly into those units. Yeah, carriers are a bit too expensive to just give away for free like that. Okay, let's go and take care of the red base, just to keep ourselves busy. Oh, what do you know? I actually do come and try to... Oh, man! Exactly happened what I was afraid of would happen. Ah, oh well. Not the end of the world. Not again. Perfect. Yeah, just focus fire that spire to make sure that they don't make any more scourges. And from here on out, just send our probes to work immediately. Ah, there we go. They're trying to do some damage already, huh? Yeah, so with the red base out of the way, it means that the rest of our bases will be pretty fine. It means one less enemy to worry about. We can bring Artanis a little bit closer. And would be a good idea for us to get another batch of carriers.
You require more Vespine gas.
Just didn't have enough. And we have another base to ourselves, which is pretty awesome. Okay, we can send those back, use the carriers to clear out a couple of defenses. There's another base located over here. And from here on out, we are playing the waiting game. Actually, in fact, send them over here, claim that base. Arbiter, and then we are pretty much ready to commence the end of this level. So yeah, the level is turning out a little bit longer than what I anticipated, but rather be safe than sorry. Actually, in fact, we are more than ready enough by now.
The Khalis is secured. Affirmative.
Executor, Zeratul and I will begin to channel the temple's energies. You must prevent the Zerg from destroying the temple while we work. Adon be with you, Executor.
Not a problem at all. We are more than ready for what the Zerg has to throw at us. Just keep our units close to the temple side, scouts, everything. And once we have our Arbiter over there, it's gonna be even nicer. So, yep. You can pretty much just put your carriers here on hold. Fly these back. Aww. What bad luck. Oh, super bad luck. Wow. Okay. Well, anyways, we got this base over here, so it's not too bad. The primary concern still lies with claiming the or beating the timer, so don't worry about anything else other than that. Even if you lose all of your probes or all of your main units, don't worry about the rest. Upgrades at least are on the upside. And if you want to be extra sure, then just make sure that you have extra carriers in production. You can see that the attacks are pretty heavy. More the reason why we have all of these slots on cannons. Alright, to look at that, that's pretty cute.
We are under attack.
Well, it is. Oh. Okay, guess not. So, these acid spores that you see comes from a unit from the Zerg side called the Devourer, and the Devourer is a pretty strong air attack only unit in the game, and the more acid spores a flyer unit has got, the more damage that they take from everything. So, it's a really, really powerful unit to have on your side, even if their main focus is to do damage to the air. You combine that, for an example, with units like Mutalisks, and then all of a sudden your Mutalisks are a lot more powerful than what they were before. So, yeah, a really nice flowery unit, and also should add every time the acid spores do hit your flyers, the cloaked ones at least, then they lose their detection too. So yeah, that makes the Devourer all the more dangerous, especially when having to deal with things like wraiths and whatnot. Okay. Now we have the space as well. More minerals, more everything. Oh! Goodness. Nice one. Didn't actually pay attention to that happening. Not really that much commentary to give anymore. Oh yeah, be careful of those defilers. If they get a nice land on our carriers, then yeah, you could kiss the majority of those carriers. Bye-bye. Did we lose our Arbiter by any chance? Yeah, it would seem so. Probably when he flew by here not too long ago. Anyways, from here on out, the level is pretty unentertaining. It's just defending until the timer runs out, and they're not gonna break through our defenses. As simple as that. Not even concerned slightly. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. I was just about to say, I mean, did we lose it again? There we go. Ooh, it's a hefty amount of Guardians, that's for sure. Really? Really now? Luckily we made some defensive structures. Okay, well, not enough. Yeah, okay, no, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. Okay, I take that back. One Ultralisks was one thing, but two Ultralisks, a bit of a different story. Okay, yeah, this base is gonna fall. Oh well. Got a hefty amount of minerals and stuff from it anyways. Not like this base was that important anyways. I guess that the Zerg need to have some kind of a win before they lose. Almost done.
We are under attack. Instructions. Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Ooh. Yeah, the Zerg is now throwing everything they have at us, but the mission is over. GG.
Executor, the channeling is complete. Withdraw our forces into the temple and brace yourself. Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Alright, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of the Protoss campaign on StarCraft Brood War, the Remastered Edition. Okay, the level took a little bit longer than what I thought it would, but like I mentioned, rather be safe than sorry. Make sure that you do the level properly instead of trying to do a speed run of sorts. So, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Refer it to your friends who would like to learn some more about StarCraft. And of course, I will see you next time when we head over to the badass Terran campaign and playing with the mighty UED. See you next time.